We live in a world that is filled with lots of bacteria. The bacteria are everywhere. Everything that we see, that we touch, that we put into our mouth, we sit on, we lie on, all of them are covered in millions and millions of bacteria. Bacteria are the largest group of microorganisms, and this is really important to know because they are found everywhere on this earth and have the biggest medical significance. Primarily, bacteria occur mainly in three shapes. The circular one is called the coccus, the rod shape is the bacillus, and the spiral is Spirochetes. Now, the coccus can occur as a single coccus, or a diplococci, or a tetrad, or a streptococci, or as a staphylococci. The bacilli can also take the form of a single bacilli, a diplobacilli, a streptobacilli, or palisades. Bacteria can take even some other forms such as Coccobacillus, a combined form of coccus and bacillus. It can also take the vibrio shape, which is somewhat in between a bacillus and a spiral. So there are even some other bacteria which do not have any defined morphology. This irregular shape is called the pleomorphic shape of bacteria. Now going into the structure, all the bacteria are prokaryotes. It means they have a cellular structure without a true nucleus. You will get a video of the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell in my channel. Now let's see the structure of a bacteria. Let's take a bacillus and make a visit inside its cell and see how the cell is organized. First of all, bacteria has appendages, which are hair-like projections that originate from the cell surface of the bacteria. There are three types of hair-like projections, such as flagella. Flagella are thin, rigid, tail-like structures that can be projected at either or both ends of the bacteria. The bit in a propeller-like motion to help in the movement of the bacteria. This is the longest appendages. Fimbriae is another hair-like projection by which the bacteria get itself attached to the target cell surface of the host, and in this way it helps in causing the disease. Another appendage is called the pili. These are the smallest hair-like projections which may occur in several types having different roles. For example, a sex pili, it holds two bacterial cells together and allows DNA to be transferred between them by forming a bridge. This is a process called conjugation. Now, another class of bacterial pili called the type 4 pili help the bacterium to move around its environment. Now let's see the outer layers of the bacteria. Many bacteria are surrounded by polysaccharides containing capsules. This is also known as slime layer, the outermost layer of the bacteria. It helps the bacteria to cling to each other or various surfaces. It prevents bacteria from drying out. This is essentially important for the bacterial survival as it protects the bacteria from phagocytosis, the engulfment of the bacteria by macrophages, neutrophils, or other larger agents. Now, plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is the innermost layer of the bacteria, which is made up of phospholipids, bilayer, and proteins, just like the human cell membrane. It has a hydrophilic region and a hydrophobic region. The hydrophilic and hydrophobic region that makes the membrane an amphiphilic characteristics. This membrane gives the first line protection to the bacterial internal organelles and also regulates transportation of substances in and out of the bacteria. In between the capsules and the plasma membrane, cell wall of the bacteria is located, and this is the most complex and most important part of a bacteria. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan layer, that is a polymer of linked sugars and peptides. The most important function of cell wall is to give the bacteria its real shape and protect it from the environment, especially from osmotic burst. It also helps to anchor appendages like pili and flagella, which originate in the cytoplasmic membrane and protrude through the wall to the outside. Now, the variation in peptidoglycan layers make two types of bacteria, the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Hopefully, I'll make a video on this topic later. Okay, now let's come inside the plasma membrane. The cytoplasm. It contains gel-like matrix that is composed of water, enzymes, nutrients, waste, gases, and all the cell organelles such as ribosomes and genetic materials. Now, about the genetic material. The bacteria has a single circular chromosome that is responsible for the replication of the bacteria. It is never linear or doesn't have a membrane-bound nucleus like human cells. In addition to this chromosome, many bacteria have plasmids. Plasmids are extrachromosomal DNA located outside the circular DNA. Now, if we magnify this one, for example, plasmids may carry a small number of non-essential genes, and these genes can be transferred to other bacteria in a population. For example, some plasmids carry genes that make bacteria resistant to antibiotics. These genes are called R genes. Suppose this bacteria has the R genes in its plasmid, and with the help of Sex pili, we have seen it over there, this bacteria share its plasmid with another bacteria that didn't have the R genes earlier. So the first bacteria was resistant to an antibiotic, and it made another bacteria also resistant. When the plasmids carrying R genes are exchanged in a population, they can quickly make the population resistant to antibiotic. So this is actually beneficial for the bacteria and their survival. And now finally, ribosomes are molecular machines of the cell that produces proteins. These are microscopic factories that translate the chromosomal DNA of the bacteria to that of amino acid, the building blocks of proteins. So basically the function is to translate the chromosomal DNA or gene and to produce proteins. So bacterial ribosomes are never bound to other organelles, and these are freely distributed in the cytoplasm. Alright, so this is all about the general structure and functions of a bacteria. Hope you liked it, like the video. In the next video, I will show you the detailed structure and functions of cell wall, as well as the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Thank you.